Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Good evening, Lee. As you can see, we're at Alsace. This is the, or Alsace, whichever one you want to call it. We're back at it with the Arbath. Mr. Mustang, or Mustang as he is on there. He's got himself to 26 laps. We're 26 laps. Lee is up there at 26. Mr. Mustang is Mr. Ridley. And ultimately, Mr. Ridley is creating these setups and pushing harder and harder and harder. He is there, number 9, just behind Lee on the list. And if you remember back to last week, I had tremendous trouble getting these tyres to do the thing. I thought they were overheating and making the car extremely difficult to drive. We've now got the tyre temperature monitor over there. See that tyre temperature monitor. We're about to go out and have a first go on a new setup developed by Mr. Ridley. And I will tell you honestly, I've not driven it at all. I've done no practice. I've done nothing. And we're going to see how much of a difference it makes. It's majorly gearing changes. And we'll go through it once we get to the end. So, I think this is fuel map 3, I've been told. Traction control 2. It's a one-stop. It's had some major gearing changes. It's had some... I'm going to go traction control 3. It's changed from low turbo to high turbo. And it's got anti-lag weak. Oh my word, it slides. Now Mr. Ridley has got his times down to into the 27s with this setup. So if he's doing 27s and I'm normally 1.5, 2 seconds a lap quicker than he is, unless of course he's getting significantly faster, tyre temperatures aren't working, are they? Let's just go and adjust that. The IP address has shifted again, hasn't it? That's what we're going to have to fix, and I can't get there from here. I'm going to have to frustrate. This does this every time. It's closed. No, I want to come out of here. Didn't have to come out. I want to know what the IP address is. It's 012, that was 017. That's just majorly annoying. Minorly annoying. 012, 1 second. There it is, that's better. So, we are going to do this a couple of restarts at a time, aren't we? Because we need to be getting used to it, but... So, traction control 3. Fuel map 3. You'll see the tyre temperatures do their thing. Now we really want to be tyre temperatures under sort of 84, 85. You had to search for me. The stream didn't pop up. I started the stream about 25 past 8. There's a few people been saying they're not getting the notifications. But good evening, Wilkie, welcome. As I was saying, Mr. Wilkie's done... Not Mr. Wilkie, Mr. Ridley, sorry. has been doing a few things with the setup. More in terms of, oh dear, getting it to, I was going to say drive smoother, but this fuel map's definitely not right. It's not going to go the distance. It's going to fuel map 6 it. You had the notification, okay. So my biggest problem last week was I could do 2 laps exceptionally quickly, really good laps. And then lap 3 the car used to just become undrivable. I'm only on the home page or in live. Maybe I've gone down in the estimates of YouTube. Maybe there's some big events on them, where there's bigger streamers or anything else on today. Maybe. Tire temperatures are high at the rear, not so high at the front. Looking for a kind of a 21, 22's not the best we've done, but anyway, yes, good evening, Mr. Wilkie. So what we're trying to do tonight, we're going to try and hit this really quickly, really early. Try and get the first hour done. If there's anybody around that wants to do some lobby racing, I was requested, I was asked if I was going to do any lobby racing last night. I shouldn't do that. I've got a break earlier, haven't I? I've got a funny feeling I'm going to be thrashing around again on this. So, just to be entirely honest, Mr. Ridley sent me a setup that said earlier in the week, he said this is much more smoother to drive. Then he sent me some photographs of some lap times, and then a day later he sent me some screenshots of an updated one, but only sent me the things he's updated. So whilst that's absolutely fine and no issue with that at all, I'm not understanding what the full setup is, and that's my fault really, not anything else. So traction control 3, fuel map 6. I might actually change it back to low turbo, and then I'll be much more comfortable with the way the car accelerates and drives into corners. But then we're just going to go for a one-off hit and see if we can get a good 26 laps without any crashes. And then, as Lee says he's up for some lobby racing, he's off work. We'll see if we can set up a lobby and see if we can get some of you in there and racing and etc. I don't know whether to treat it as like the opportunity to get some GR4 practice in, or for Tuesday's race and do a bit of Tokyo, or whether we just do something a little bit different and have people suggesting tracks or whatever. We're going to do some racing, we'll get people driving, and oh yeah, update coming on next Thursday. Highly likely they're going to tweak things, aren't they? They're going to... Have we got a big World Series or anything coming up? Have we got the World Final coming up fairly soon? I've got a funny feeling that that's in a couple of weeks' time, isn't it? And therefore they could be tweaking things for the final just to make things a little bit fine. Yeah. Hey Sam. Oh, don't say that. No, we don't want a full reset. We don't want that. I need to get off the grass. We don't want a full reset. even tempt fate. Well, there's a slower lap. I'm definitely going to change the turbo. Definitely going to change that. So, I'm going to go with low RPM. We're going to turn that anti-lag off. Don't want that. Got different gearbox settings. Okay. I'm going to do assist settings. DC3. Save me having to do that. Oh. Good evening, Blaney. Right, we'll get this humper short shifting. Right, let's go for it now, shall we? Let's get this all the way to the end. Let's see if we can do the 26. Looking for an outlap. Yeah, no worries, Sam. We'll get through this and we'll see what gets set up. Sam loves being handcuffed. He normally shares that kind of thing. We got to fourth gear very quickly then. The short shift works very well, I believe. Now we need to spot this braking marker. Tire temperatures look under control. That's about as fast as we've done all night. Now the next lap should be a 2:18. A 2:17.5 would be nice. I still haven't. Sam's just saying that he got taken out a couple of times in the Nations Cup races. I still haven't got the temperament to take on the Nations Cup races, even live on stream. No, I'd have to do them recorded and contain myself. Now I'm gonna tweak the fuel map as we go, because at the moment we're doing 15 odd laps when it only needs to go 13. Oh shish kebab. How did that happen? 5 hours and nearly 800 miles. Yeah, not good. Right, fuel map. We've got to do that on fuel map 6, haven't we? Brake balance, traction's 3, that's fine. it doesn't matter about the fuel then. I'll leave it on fuel max 6 for drivability. And then we'll see where we can get this. Come on. I'm feeling a bit stuffed from dinner actually. No excuses. Get the excuses in early, as they say, but we had fajita wraps and the peppers were so strong. It was unreal. So I've just got a bit of reflux, and if I do look a bit uncomfortable and drinking a bit, that's because I've just got to try and get rid of it. Yeah, I was just thinking about getting the fuel in and increasing the lap time. Yep, that is another advantage. I will be stationary less if I take less fuel, won't I? And I'll carry less fuel because I'll carry more fuel for the first half. It's just those tyre temperatures that I want to keep an eye on. Looking for a 220 out lap. .220 would be nice. Be more like a 221.5, but 221.5, 4 seconds quicker would be 217. That's where we need to be. Rear tyre temperatures now sitting just below the 80 mark. They've just touched 80. And about 84 I think is where they lose their real good grip performance. That was a 221.7 out lap, which isn't so bad. This is the hardest one, I think, in terms of getting a car right. This car's an absolute dog, but nothing else touches it. It's just so much quicker than everything else. There's so many cars you can do it with that are really stable and really good to drive. They're just not as quick. They just don't get the lap time. But this thing is just such a handful. Even with all the driving aids, it is an absolute slug. It's extremely difficult to keep under control for an hour. Absolutely. Using this car gets you the best result, yeah. So target for 27 laps. At lap times, every lap time under 2:17.5. So we're just outside. And that's assuming, of course, you do the pit stop in the prescribed amount of time. So just see how much it jumps under braking into turning. You don't have to touch the brakes to make it leap and jiggle and become a buckaroo. It just does it. But it does feel quite a stable setup. It does feel like it wants to drive the direction I want it to go. Both rear tyres 85 degrees. You can see they're not wearing excessively. 54 minutes, nothing outside of my control then. And there it goes, there's the rear tyres overheated. I've got the brake balance all the way to the front. I've got weight added all the way to the front. And the rears just want to keep lighting up. Sector 2 was a second down, but the first sector was a second up. So we traded the two. Mariana has rejoined. Thanks for subscribing, Mariana. I saw you on a chat group today and I thought I'd say hello, but I never got a chance. But welcome, Mariana. Just lost half a second there that we didn't want to lose. Still got time to make this back up. The car's going to get lighter. Tyre temperatures are in excess of 100 degrees then. The rear tyres are really on fire, aren't they? But we know they're going to be. Could really turn in a lot later to that corner, I think. Don't know why the rear wants to come round on that corner. That's brake balance is all the way to the front, yeah. Brake balance is all the way to the front. I've also got the toe in at 26.26% or something like that, whatever its measurement is, to try and generate heat in the front. But they just don't seem to be taking the heat. It's got the weight on the front to try and keep it hot, but the fronts don't seem to want to cook at all. If we can get some heat in the front, it would be good. Oh, flicking hell. I was reading the chat. And your soul. Start again. I'm not gonna complete a race with a crash in. See if we can do better. try and do it again. Come on. Car into the middle of this corner, it just makes it much more stable. You try and go high to low, it fights you. Right, let's see if I can do any better. Worse by 0.2. Those rear tyres up to 95, they were there. Spinning away. If it can be something like 4.7, 4.6 seconds up, that would be nice on this lap. 4.8, nice. Don't do it, you slug. A little bit rough coming through there. Just a little bit down. Oh, she's gone. She broke free. That was the gear change that did that. Come on. There we go. So the 27 is on. We've just got to make this thing do it. Oh, shish caboodle. Again, got into the corner just a little bit too quick. We lost a lot of time with that slide. The confidence rises and you can't rely on that. You've got to just do the same every lap. Repeat, 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 rinse and repeat. Gotta make the thing get round the circuit. I want to try and go further over to the right, but I know the centre line entry there is so much better. But I want to try and sweep that corner. Just seen the chat roll and I don't know whether to read it or not. I keep my eyes on the track. Till we get to... It's a decent tune. Mr. Ridley's put in a lot of time. This tune's probably developed over the last couple of months with me trying various certain stages of it. Mr. Ridley admittedly is a little bit slower driver, so he exhibits a lot more stability, and it looks really smooth on the videos he sends me, and I can't replicate it, but I am 2.5 seconds quicker a lap, and I'm pushing the car harder in different places, and my driving style slightly different. It's just gone. Don't know why that did that, but look at the rear tyre temperatures where it's paused, 120 and 100. That's kind of where the problem is, I think. And I wonder whether it's worth taking the toe in, toe out of the rear tyres, trying to keep that temperature down. So I don't know how it will react to do that change, as to whether that will sort of settle them down a bit, or do we put a lot more weight to the rear of the car? Putting a lot more weight on the rear of the car will make it sit down that bit more. But we're getting into what we got into last weekend, which was 2 laps of this, 3 laps of that. But this is about tuning the setup Mr. Ridley gives us and making it work for us. And admittedly, it's not a straight out the box go and set the record thing, but I'm not going to set the record, you know that, but people are faster than this on me, on here than I am. But I mean, it's setting my best record at 27. But it takes a bit of work, and it generally doesn't. I can't do them first time off the bat every time. There's a significant amount of trial and error that goes on, which I guess I'm trying to demonstrate. It's just terrible. I'm going to change the weight. I'm going to move the weight. Just need that back end to get a little bit more stable, but I don't know what it's going to do to... Oh, we're alright on the tune. 460, isn't it? Going to add so much more weight. Ah, now it's gone out of tune. Look, PP not working. Impossible to calculate. There we go. Let's see how that changes things. Oh, we're in wheelie mode. Did you see a wheelie there as we came out that corner? Yeah, that doesn't work at all, does it? I'm not even controlling the car at that point and it wants to wheelie. Watch him go. There's loads of lag from the gearbox. So much slower. No, it's uncontrollable with that weight there. So we know that that's wrong. I'm going to bring it back to 35. Put the tyres back to where it should be. Just go for it. What about putting the weight centre mass in the car? Stick with the tune and take time to adjust to it. Yeah, it's not that. I'm trying to adjust the physical properties to try and, like you say, get more heat into the front tyres and take heat out the back tyres. Look at the temperature gauge there. 150, 160. So the car is doing laps under computer control now, and you can see the tyre temperatures. You can see them rolling. They're phenomenal. They go so high. It's just, I wish we could see the car and where it was doing what it was doing. So yeah, the car was spinning out of control because the weight was in the wrong place, wasn't it? It was traction controls on. Massive amount of lag in the audio now. It won't slow down, the damn thing. Yeah, I was just wondering if we could get the tyre temperature to come down at all by, I don't know, keeping weight over the back wheels and making the back end sit down more so it doesn't spin quite so much. You see what I mean? It would force it to have traction because of the extra weight. Maybe the weighting needs to be centre mass of the car. But I guess also the tyre temperature will still increase anyway because you're putting the rotating force through the tyres. Heat doesn't just happen because it's rotating and spinning. It happens because it's gripping and traction as well. That's where heat comes from, because the tyre blocks are moving. But again, I don't know whether pull off any digital's wheel model counters for all that. Gearbox is taking its time to slow down. I'm hitting the gear change on the change down probably a half second before you guys are seeing it. A little off-putting and disconcerting that gear change is not as smooth and as sleek as it was. That was a very poor lap. 224. So it's always going to have a lot of rear temp with the rear engine overpowering the verge of spinning the wheels. I don't get why I don't see everyone racing super formulas in multiplayer. Average. Oh, Blaney's talking about something else. Just underdrive it, brake earlier. Softer with inputs and focus on the lines. Yeah, that's got to be it, Sam. That's got to be it. Got to be it. I think if people want to race super formulas, Blaney, they go and play F1. The representation of the cars in GT aren't really what people are looking for. They'd rather go and race F1, I think, EA Sports. So, and that's being honest. It's GT's about the sports car rather than the formula car. I think that's where people are using GT. Right, we've put the setup back to how Mr. Ridley intended it, except for turbo settings. See if I can get this anywhere near where it's going. Gearbox still feels slow to change down. The outlap 222.371, that's 3/4 of a second down on where we need to be. I don't know where I'm. Not even. We're a second down on this lap. So what I changed was I put the weight back to where Mr. Ridley prescribed it. That's the only change we've got at this moment. Can't have the car too low entering the corner there, you've got to be middle of the track. Too slow, not going to be able to do it at that rate. So I suppose what we're going to be doing then is we're going to be aiming for a 26. We're just going to get this done. I want to put that back to 35. That back to 55. and see what we can do. If we can, yeah, I've changed it to low turbo. Try and give me more oomph out the corners in a lower gear. A higher turbo, just I spin the car 3/4 of the way out of the corner because the torque just kicks in and it just throws the car all over the place. My style of driving, that's what that is. Still slow. Getting slower. I can't drive it, Sam. I tried the high turbo at the start and I can't drive it. I lose the car mid-corner. When I go back to the throttle, it just chucks the car off the track uncontrollably. It's gone there again. Gone there again. I keep trying to improve things from what Mr. Ridley's done, but not working for me. I've just got to go back to what he's prescribed on his setup. I suppose the thing is, it's the RPM, the lower power turbo does have the pace. It's the changes I've made that have changed the car. The low RPM turbo set at 217.4. The low RPM turbo's quicker. I did a 216.4 last week. Admittedly, slight change in setup, but the low RPM turbo is where it's at. This week, Mr. Ridley's prescribed to changing gears. It's only since I've started, only the last half an hour that I haven't been able, well, it's only been the last 5 laps I've not been able to do the 217s. And I've also got more engine mods on than Mr. Ridley prescribes as well. Gearbox has started to react better. No lag in the change down now. Back in the 21s, which is okay. I haven't done a 216 tonight. Did a 216 last week. I've done a 216 tonight. That's because I've not seen it. I've done a 216. I've surprised myself. Don't do it, you slug. I obviously wasn't looking. Fastest lap I saw was a 2:17.4 something tonight, I think. But then again, I must admit, I was probably 5 laps in, wasn't I? And I wasn't 100% concentrating. I was concentrating more on the lap than time, I guess. Lost a little bit at the end there. I was casual through the S's before the start finish. Just caught it then. Wanted to dart off left, which is its regular thing on lap 3. Hey Chris Pete. The physics should be the same. Calculation speed will be different, wouldn't it? I would have thought, but I don't think you'll notice it, in fairness, between PS4 and PS5. You shouldn't. If it did, they wouldn't allow you to drive the same, I would have thought. As in, join the same lobby. There's a different performance, different cars. I've never seen that comparison, actually. Can you be faster on the PS4 or the PS5? I've not seen that. Certainly haven't seen it. There's an interesting idea. Had discussions with the missus today about the new PC for January. She agreed. She says as long as the channel pays for it, that's fine. So that's 6 weeks away, 8 weeks away maybe, before we put the order in. We're a tiny bit behind schedule. 2.2 seconds after 3 laps, which is quite a big chunk of time, to be honest. I'd suggest that if I did do it, I'd take a recording. We were in Meadowhell today shopping, and I didn't spend the money that she put aside for me to get some new clothes for this wedding. Put 400 quid to one side for it, and I only spent 54. So she went and got herself something instead. And it was then when I took the opportunity. Slightly out of range, wasn't it? Now we're a little bit behind where we were last time, because it was round about here that I crashed. But I'd not caught the 2 little yellow monsters then. See the way it kicked there, that's just unbelievable that the back end kicks like that. Like last week we were talking about it, it must be tyre temperature, I was thinking. My printer's just decided to kick in. This is way too slow for 27, but it's good for 26, so we'll keep going. My printer's decided it's just gonna... I've got one of those laser printers, and for whatever reason it's just decided it's gonna print something. I think it's telling me the ink cartridges are out. I've got a brand new set of ink cartridges waiting to go in. I'm just absolutely stunned that it's printing away. Maybe the missus has decided to print something. I'm gonna come busting in a minute and they say, "Where's my print?" Well, she's gone to bed. The network printer, so wireless, it'll work from anywhere. But why the hell would it start printing on its own? We're going to change tyres this time when we pit stop, regardless of whether there's plenty of grip on them. So you reckon high temperature, high turbo's the way to go? Yeah, I'll just have to get my head around how to drive it. This is far less volatile, much easier to keep under control. But I'm just so slow. This is for 26 though. But I'm getting slower and slower. That's the bit. Linkin Park. Oh. That might have been a Linkin Park. Yeah, consistency is where it's at. I just want it easier to drive. More predictable, less uncontrollable. That's a double negative, less uncontrollable. More controllable is probably the better to say. Female vocalist, Linkin Park. How does that work? Different car. Yeah, like I say, 26 with a different car is possible. I don't think 20. Can't even do 26. Listen to Two-Faced, you won't regret. He was running anti-lag as well on weak. Just missed the gear. I was in fourth gear. You need to be in third gear for that corner. Yeah, I messed up. Messing up a lot tonight. Getting to lap 5 is the maximum I've done. Yeah, Cappuccino's great for Deep Forest. The same tune works very well at Kyoto as well. Though somebody's gone extra deep at Kyoto. They've done more laps than I can imagine. Have to drive this slightly differently with the gear changes. And that's what it does with the high RPM turbo. If you change down at the wrong point, it just locks the rear axle. Don't like it at all. That outlap was a 225. That's absolute poop. Not even interested. Not even interested. Turn the power down, says Sam. I hate to be changing stuff. Just too much. Power delivery doesn't change. It just doesn't change at all. There's no way. It changes more when you do that one. Don't know what you mean by power with an ECU. I think you typed that as I changed the second bit. Hiya, fat man. Hope the missus is feeling better today. It's deep. Good evening, Mr. Zaka. That's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. I was doing 221s on the low RPM turbo. Yeah, I was just demonstrating the point of taking the power out. It was the only way to change the torque curve. Put the ECU to 100% as well, so we put power back in. I'm driving the car differently as well, so I'm being forced to change gear higher up the rev range. Don't like it. I'm going back to low RPM turbo. Don't like the anti-lag. When did you say the cast was going on? Monday morning, eh? Just keep her drugged up till then, buddy. You'll, quite bizarre that... I suppose it's the swelling, isn't it? They've got to let the swelling go before the big cast goes on, because put the big cast on with swelling, it just won't do anything when the swelling goes down, so it goes sloppy. Probably should have kept it in. I'm slower than a donkey's doo-doo. I'm going to scrap this off for the night. I'm not enjoying it at all. Too many changes. Just want to do it the way I want to do it. It won't let me. Same as last week, just 2 hour laps, 2 laps for over an hour, and then because I'm trying to push for 2:21.5 out lap, a 2:17.5 consistency on lap times, and I can't get that 2:21.5 now. And it's critical for the race distance, because that first lap being, what was it, a 25 and a 24, they are so slow that that's 3 seconds that you can't get back in the race. You have to get them. I didn't change down to third. Absolute sack of poo. What I haven't found is any shortcuts, any ways to improve the lap time. I haven't found any difference between taking a wider entry here and going narrow than staying tight on the low side. Running wide just seems to take a lot longer to get the car to turn in. And changing and messing around with the lap doesn't help with trying to be consistent, because it just doesn't help. Got to stay with what I know. Should be a 38 coming through here. It is. Oh, shishka noda. Look at the tyre temperatures on the rear. 137, 194. Oh my lord. Didn't like that, did he? Can't get the car back on the track. It also wouldn't be so bad if I could control the lap time. If I said to myself, right, drive 218s. I can't drive a 218. I don't know what the feel is for a 218. I don't know, because the car drives so wildly different continuously. I don't know what the rhythm is. I don't know what the line is for a 218. And I know that's only half a second short of what I'm trying to do, but it's really wild that the car just varies so much lap to lap. When did I do a 220.5 outlap? Oh, you did. You did. 220.5 is a decent lap on an outlap. You take 4 seconds off your outlap, you're in the 216s there. I'm timed down, and I can't imagine why. I don't know why it just did that. Lucky to save it. But if we're not 4 seconds up, we're not carrying it on. 4.2, okay. And it doesn't seem to want to be a coast car, this. Doesn't seem to want to coast through the corners. Unless that's where I'm going wrong and not giving it the opportunity. Back to the 17s. At one point or another, I've done all the prerequisites to be able to do what we're aiming to do. Just not all at the same time, and not all in line and in sync with when we want to do it. I've demonstrated capability, but I've not actually proved it, which, considering when and how we've tried this and how we're doing it, it is thoroughly frustrating. We lost over a second there through that long corner by not getting the entry speed right. Those rear tyre temperatures are ridiculous. Further behind those boys than we were last time. Didn't change down, lost the back end, can't control it. Going to the bathroom, back in 1 second. Got to find something to make this just that little bit more, what's the word? Just to make it that little bit more. Is the power still 395 even though it dropped that off? 395? Put that down to 10. No, it's 356, that's right. Pushing that back up doesn't... Only drops it to 383, but it's something. Max torque's gone up. All of the metrics are the same. 0 to 60 is slightly quicker. 0.01. It's got more torque. See if we can do anything with it. It's a long old road, I'm afraid. When we're taking bits and pieces out of it. Yeah, that's the thing, it's getting that consistency, Lee. It's bringing that to the table. I've just been doing a couple of laps where I've been trying to coast through the apexes, and I'm just wondering if that's gonna bring any fruit. Means we're getting to the power later, but the car's going to go through the centre of the corner with less aggression. I suppose it's a technique rather than a driving style. I'm constantly trying to make this car hustle, and I wonder if that's where the problem is. That's a second, that's 1.2 seconds slower. With trying to be smoother, trying to be more precise. I was hoping the coasting would make the car more compliant. Lee just did another 220 and a 217 dead, which is tremendous stuff. Better than I've been able to achieve tonight. See, that's just way down on where I want to be. Way down. 217.5 every lap, except for the out lap, which needs to be a 221.5. 217.5 every lap. Can't afford to get it back. It's too much to lose. Do 93 on the high RPM. So the torque's gone down, power's up, PP's up. We're quicker on the 0 to 25, a quarter of a mile. Quicker to the 0 to 60, 0.62 of a mile. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. It's very tough. But people have done it, look. Well, nobody's done the 27 on my friends list, but we've got 2 people that have done it now on the global stage. So I'm going to short shift the high RPM turbo and see if that changes anything for me. I've been revving it out. See if I can drive it like the medium RPM turbo and drive it like the low RPM turbo. Seeing if I can get it to play. Came into there in fourth on the brakes. I'm not hitting the power out until we're 2/3 of the way around the corner, really. It's a bit slower than I can do with the low RPM turbo. 38 dead, 38.1 on the out lap. Gearbox ratios are new to me tonight, but they do seem to want to hustle the car. I will share them with you as soon as I get to a small convenient moment. I'm likely to crash this in the next 5 laps, so let's see where we go. I can't show you until I've quit out, of course. 223, rubbish pants. Show you. Settings then for gearbox. Might be easier. Might be easier. If I... Oh, Sam sent a photograph of a high RPM turbo run. I did a 217 one. Yeah, I didn't do a 216. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Mr. Ridley sent a video clip. Oh, he sent it about 45 minutes ago. I've tweaked the suspension weight and limited slip as well as the... I see it is in the here. I see it is in the setup I used. Interesting. He says he's tweaked the setup. The problem is Mr. Ridley sends me a video and I can't zoom in to see the times. I can't see the screen. So that it's too small on my phone. Is a bit rubbish. Lee wants gearbox settings. It's going to be extremely difficult to communicate them to you. How do I... download, there we go. Save to PSP album. So if I go to my chat, have you messaged me, Lee? What's your PSP duty thing? It's Neo Yami, there he is. There you go, mate. I've sent you the gearbox tunes on the chat. It's just going to make it easier because I won't know when you've got it and etc. Feels like I need to use the mid-tune. The mid-turbo if I'm not going to rev it out. He wasn't up for me coming past, was he? Yeah, the delay is properly real on YouTube. Feels so much more stable through there just by changing the turbo. That's bizarrely weird. I want it to be more stable through here with less rear end slide, and it's just not playing. Lap time consistency is where I'm losing it. That's 40, that's just ridiculous. I'm getting overcritical of myself again, like we did at Deep Forest, like we did here. I just need to stick at it and keep going, don't I? I am roasting. Much colder here at the minute. We've got freezing temperatures overnight, but car's frozen when you get out there in the morning. But I haven't turned the house heating on yet, and the house is still rot hot. It really is a warm house. I've got the air conditioning on still. It's supposed to turn really cold in the UK over the next 3 to 4 days. Possible snow tomorrow. Don't know what that's going to turn into, whether it's just the media just blathering and telling us it's going to be bad, but all seconds slower at that point. But off the brakes there a wee bit. $19.50 minutes and not very well insulated. Yeah, so ours has got like 4 foot of woven insulation in the loft, you know, the fibre mat stuff. And I've peeled it back in certain places and put a floor down, and it's now like 6 foot because I've compressed it down underneath the floorboards. but the house rattles along between 18 and 20 degrees with no heating on at all. And my missus, I keep coming upstairs to find my missus leaving the airing cupboard door open. And I'm saying, what are you doing with the airing cupboard door? She says, oh, it's heating the house. And that's what she's using, the hot water that we have on twice a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the like heater cupboard upstairs, where the water tower is. She leaves the door open, and that just warms up the upstairs. 50 to 100, oh my lord. Yeah, that's not brilliant. But we had solar fitted a couple of years ago now, and we were probably running along gas and electric bill was nearly £350, £385 a month, which 120 quid a week. Oh, millimeters. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Same. That's how I read it. I didn't read it as anything else. The ML, I was thinking millimeters. But I glanced to the left and I saw it. I thought, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we had the solar fitted, and the electric and gas is now, it ranges between 25 and 30 quid a week, so 120 quid a month. And we've been paying 150 a month all summer, on the expectation that we'll use more energy in the winter, we would think. And kind of working out that way. Solar's not really doing anything with the cloud cover we're having at the minute. Yeah, we're doing all right with it. But I've also we've got a hot tub in the garden, a 1600 litre hot tub, which is chugging away all the time. But we had we had a heat pump fitted to that. So instead, that was making most of the cost, I would have thought. But that's now only costing us £4 a week, which plus the cost of the heat pump. If you think the heat pump was 1,500 quid, so you can't just ignore the fact that we put 1,500 quid into it. That's probably 10 years of heating costs for the hot tub itself, but it just takes the price out of the monthly bills. You know, and if you get the finance deal, you get it cheap because you get the finance, then just pay the finance deal off straight away. You've got 30 days to disagree or agree to a finance deal as you enter it, so you can reject the finance deal and just pay the money, but you pay the money the same as what you would pay on the interest-free credit, so you don't lose anything and you don't gain anything really. You just get it fractionally cheaper. Yes, but hey JB, thank you very much, amigo. Just seeing me donut the damn thing again, or half donut. JB, you've probably seen it in the chat, but Armour's on sale if you're interested. If you've got a spare moment to go and have a look, I bought some add-ons today because they're only like, they're 60% off. So if you have the ability or want to, and you want to do some of that, have a look. Sorry, dude. You should have your headphones on. No, you're not having your headphones on, will you? Sorry, mate. How do I know the missus is stood there? I had to brake later for it. That was probably a mistake. I'm a second and a half slow. 2 seconds a lap slow. And I'm way back on where I was. It just feels like a waste of time. I just can't get the speed out of the car. I'm going to review the setup Mr. Ridley sent. Because... It's kind of frustrating me now. These are the last settings. These are the last photographs I've got. All the way. $70. Yeah, they're right. They're right. 426 horsepower. That's what I've got. Slightly adjusted, haven't I? I'm on 433 when he's on 426. So what's different there? It's because I've got more. I wonder if that is the critical part of it. Because I've taken the weight reduction out. Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's go and fully comply with Mr. Ridley's setup requirements, because I didn't think to do that. You're joking. 6-star parts ticket. Oh, you were in the Carrera today, the Shonky monster. Happy days. Yeah, enjoy a good sleep, JB. Got a really weird gearbox. That Carrera Turbo. Really weird. You push to change up, you pull to change down. On both sides of the gear lever. Just horrendous. Extreme. We're going to put a new engine in. Then we're going to only purchase stroke up. Engine balance tuning. Titanium comrods. Racing crankshaft. And then we're going to add 3 weight reduction. Cheers, JB. Thank you. I need them. Don't we? Need them. Already bought them already. Page 3. Right, so that actually sees us comply with Mr. Ridley. We should have a weight of 1338. I wonder what car they'll be for. Probably that Ford Model T thing. $13.38 kilogram. We've got it in kilograms, so he's 1338 pounds. So if we times 607 by 2.2, that should be very close. 607 times 2.2 equals 1335.4. So we'd give or damn it, near as damn it there. So 426 horsepower, 426 horsepower, 4753 on the weight ratio. His he's ever so slightly quicker, and I think it's probably the anti-lag that is difference. Yeah, that was what the difference. 1223, 2487, 271. So let's take it for granted that I'm not doing it correctly and not following the instructions provided, and therefore it's my own fault. Let's see if this makes all the difference in the world. Almost quicker into T1. Considerably lighter car. Half a second quicker than my fastest lap recently. See if we can finish the lap off nicely. We've got 11:17. (23 and 2.48). Doesn't feel any quicker, although it should do, I would suggest. I guess I've trashed the night of lobby racing because I've been crashing away at this for 3.5 hours. Gonna have a hit at this now. Try and get that 26 with a decent 26. No crashes. I'll be almost 5 seconds quicker, that's alright. short shifted the car there and it didn't work at all. It just took ages for the power to come in. It's alright if in a big long sweeping turn, but not in a way where you want the car to accelerate. It's a bit rubbish. Back on the nose, come on. We're where we want to be. I'm going to have to compare those to what I've got because I don't remember, Lee. I don't remember what I'm supposed to have or what I should have or what I do have. I was entering that corner far too quickly because I saw the purple, looked up and missed my braking point. And I've overheated the rear tyres with that slide at the last corner. I've just absolutely trashed this lap by sliding it. Which just goes to show how easy it is. Didn't expect that purple, so it wasn't a crash, so we keep going. We're about 2 seconds down, I think. Although I could have just looked to the right hand of that timer and it would show me, wouldn't it? But I didn't think. I just looked up and saw the red. I didn't actually see the time. Red was enough to frustrate the kittens out of me. We did alright, we saved a bit, didn't we? Fuel's on track for it. 10.7, we've done 4, well, we're on 4, so we've done 3, so 13.7 is good. Car is kind of playing the game correctly, it's being drivable-ish. Might brake at the right point, Jimbo. Now we're ahead of where we were last time. We've caught those boys just a fraction earlier and I failed to change down, but we managed to save that. Get back on the track, you nugget. Good evening, Oprah. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good week and enjoying your weekend. Yeah, we messed that up at the end of that lap, didn't we? We were on the purple when we came past the two slow boys. I haven't really been able to attack this big corner for a while. Been making me kind of scared of it going into that corner. I keep losing it left to right. So I've been kind of skittish of it, and I see this is going to be an 18-2. If we can get it right coming up the hill this time. Slower, we messed up that final chicane. We know we did, we felt it. We almost lost it. Gonna try and follow the inside line on this corner. Didn't spot how far we were down, I saw. We were red, I didn't really see. Whole second down as we slap the wall. This car doesn't want to get faster as it sheds fuel weight. Doesn't do that. Optimal 215.969. Don't think I've ever had an optimal that low. Tenth down at this point. We lost another tenth coming through there, maybe. Tried to take the wide line through there and it didn't work. We've lost another second, one would think. It's a shed, isn't it? It's an absolute shed. Trying to get to that 27 is an absolute challenge. The videos I've got from Mr. Ridley actually show the car to drive incredibly smoothly. I saw a video of that the other day, Wilkie. They were doing an open top run, trying to push for 300, which is just mind blowing. I'm not so sure, Opera. I don't think I am. I say I don't think I am. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, or the day after, or the next day. I just don't know if it's... I haven't ordered one. Put it that way. I've not felt the desire or need. My PS5 is working. I just don't know what the enhancement can give me. It's... I just... he was doing 217.5s, 217.2s, 217.3s. He's managed to get the speed up, but he did the attempt. It was 27 seconds short, purely because he his average lap time wasn't in the 217.5s. Yeah, I'm going to the States, aren't I, in a few weeks' time. I can get 20% off the price by buying one there. If I can buy one in the shops, of course, but I don't know when they're being put on general sale. At the minute, they're only available from the PlayStation shop, aren't they? You can't just go down Curry's and buy one. So, but I don't want to pay that price. Like I say, my PlayStation is working fine. Now, Heathen, his PlayStation blew up yesterday. He's in the prime position to just say, F it, I'll get a Pro. You know, if my PlayStation died tomorrow, I don't know. I'm just miffed that they haven't given us the ability to use super widescreens. Kind of frustrating. Kind of frustrating that lap time at a 2:21 and I don't think I did anything wrong. Yeah, if you were on PS, if you were doing the upgrade, now like that leap, you know, if you were going from PlayStation 4, but 700 notes. I'm just about to drop a big 5 on a PC. Five big ones. That's exactly where I am. It's the only game I really play is GT7 on the PlayStation. I keep buying games for it, but I rarely stretch my neck to go and use them. Lap times are just getting slower and slower. Tyres have I'm gonna stick my neck on the block here. Consoles are awesome for what they are. You know, they are a third the price of a decent gaming PC. They stay pretty much on the plane of technology for... Jesus, don't do that! Why the living hell would it just do that and then just start to do spins? Flipping jibbity jibbity jibbity. That is just horrible. We're just about to be on the last portion of time that we can do a restart. And still get it in before midnight. Big frustraties. I was cruising my way to a 26 laps there. And I was cruising, I was trying to take it steady, trying to keep the lap times around about the 218. Saw that 221 and got a little bit frustrated with that. And then that corner it just decided to spin out and then do a U-turn. I guess that's dirt on the tyres, isn't it? Like another Saturday of disappointment. Got to do an oil and spark plug change. Oh, the missus wants me up and awake for 8:30 when she gets back from swimming tomorrow. I'm gonna be in bed for about 2 o'clock. Make that, I would suggest. And then have a snooze on the sofa in the afternoon. Half a second off where I want to be. But it's so easy to lose half a second here. So easy to lose it. It's not easy to gain it back either. We made up 0.6 of a second there in that lap. Because we were only what's the word? We were 4 seconds up at the first time is split. $17.5. And I really don't know why that was a 17.5 when the other laps previously weren't. I'm revving it out, I guess. What I can say is there is massive stability under braking in a straight line. So if you can brake in a straight line, all well and good. That equals my fastest lap for the day. Did one of those in the first half an hour. Mr. Ridley has done fantastic work on this setup to make it actually stop where I wanted it to stop. I've not complained really at all about the car not wanting to stop. All night it's been The only time it's not wanted to stop is when I've missed my braking points, which I can't blame the setup for. Alright, it's not a very forgiving setup, but that's the car. Oh, we're catching those boys quicker. Missed the braking point. Drifty slidey. Get the wheel back! No, I didn't do it. Now it's just doing its own thing. You don't believe how frustrating that is. I've got to keep control of my urges to catch and chase and drive quicker. That is just so frustrating. You can't push at all. This car just won't be pushed. It will only do what it wants to do. That was a really good start as well. Last hour then. We're into the last hour. This has got to be the last concerted effort. If not, we'll go and do half an hour at Le Mans. Try and get that little one done. I remember when we were doing 225 out laps. I'll never get this down to 220s, 221s, 222s. We've done it over time. Thanks to the setups provided by Mr. Ridley. And then the fact that we've just got to drive the damn thing. Just a bit frustrated we haven't got to the first pit stop. Come on, let's go, go, go. Don't know why it did that. brake later coming down the hill. Don't want to change my braking point. $16.5. Badly. I'm using shadows across the track as a braking point there, which is not good at all. Environmental braking points, they're going to be the ruin of you. The blooming move. Evening, Damo. Car goes light and the back end spits. Don't know why. $16.2. So 1.3 seconds quicker per lap than we need to go. And at that point the shadows that I was using have disappeared. That's why I missed the braking marker last time I came down here. I remembered this time round. Well, an absolute street ahead of where we were last time. For a whole corner and half a straight ahead. We overtook them when we got to this line here. Next lap's going to be a 16 as well. Coming together after 3 hours. Shish kebab. Just don't know why it took off. It's because I'm charging for the line, aren't I? I'm racing. I'm not doing the thing I'm supposed to be doing, which is consistent laps. Just getting faster and faster, or trying to be, and I'm trying to push. I suppose that's the racing driver element. Come on, Damage, go away. Steering wheel's pulling to the left. We've got plenty of fuel. This will be a slow lap because I've not managed to rev it out. Oh, yeah. Damage has gone away, so the damage left us mid-corner, as you can see by the correction that was required. We had a great opening. Still not got the fastest optimal down to where it needs to be. But our fastest lap is so near the optimal, which is really, really good, and we're really slow at this point. Come on, Widow, back on the horse, come on. Don't do it. Got it together for 2 laps. Had 2 really, really good laps. Now I can't touch it. Gotta rev it out. Revving it out gives this car that bit more speed. And you've got to be smooth. This is a critical corner, this one. As soon as the back end starts to kick out, you've lost that corner, you've lost the fight with it. This one, I've discovered 3rd or 4th gear in is really quite on it. Yeah, 16.2, good lap that. Couldn't tell you the difference between that and the 16.5. I couldn't also tell you why the back end just broke away. That's just so frustrating. I wasn't able to correct that and bring the car back. Can't get rid of the incidents. The incidents are just gonna happen, I think. I think it'd have to be a mini skip, wouldn't it? Couldn't waste all that money on a big one. 45 quid for half a day, mini skip. That'll do it. Now I think if I leave it in 4th gear, it's good. Don't know why it did that. They clipped the inside curb. Don't know. I wasn't that far off the time though. 19. Just that makes me annoyed more than anything else. Happiness has returned driving the GT3s. Must admit they are good. They go where you point them. Last night's race was really good. The races we had, Big Popper demonstrated that being out in front and running consistent laps and just trying to stay out the front, you've got nobody applying pressure because you've done the hard work. It's the easy place to be at the front, and he did really well yesterday to get the double victory. That's tremendous. It's what you need. It'll make him hard to beat for the rest of the season, although one race doesn't make a season, does it? But it's good. Difficult circuit that is, that Spanish track. Yeah, I've got a few messages from people saying it's a shame they can't be in the league, commitments elsewhere, etc., but they'd like to be. I mean, if ifs were buts and buts were maybes, we would have a full league every week. You know, and people would be... It would be phenomenal, but... Somebody suggested last night, why don't I talk to Sam, collaborate with Sam, run 2 lobbies, get as many people as we can. Sam run one lobby, I run the other. It would mean that Sam gets to stream and Sam gets to get out amongst the people and get his name known. Sam and I would never race in the same server because one would be hosting one would be hosting the other, and we split it half and half. But I don't think that's fair on Sam. Sam's got to grow before he can, you know, sort of fledge into that lot. He's very difficult to start without a library of of videos for people to fall back on. I know he'll get great support from the people on this channel, but it would be difficult to explain to people how in the same lobby Sam was running one set of races, I'm winning the other set of races. Somebody's got to do all the work to work out who was the fastest, who was the slowest. I don't have the time to commit massively outside of what I'm doing to, I don't know, creating a league position with 25 races in and working out the difference in times between the two leagues to see who came first, second, third, etc. Sam would still be winning everything because he'd be much faster. Yeah. And it just wouldn't work for me that Sam's streaming my content. He needs to do his own thing. That's why he's doing his own thing, and Sam would be streaming under the banner of Widdowmaker Racing because he's doing half the league for it, and I don't think that would work for him. It certainly wouldn't work for me that he's streaming the content that affects my channel. So it's like, I know there'd be a partnership and a collab kind of thing, but that would only work if we were in the same channel, same server, competing against each other. I just don't think that's a fair fight. Sam is significantly faster than me, and I can see totally that he would beat me every race, and I'd be just allowing him to stream my content to beat me every week, which is absolutely fine, because nobody wants that, do we? I don't want that. I don't want to be shown to be being beaten every week by somebody streaming my content. It's just not going to work in any sort of shape, sense or form. I don't know how else to get more people into the lobby. More people want to come on the lobby to race, to be part of the stream, and it would work for Sam to do that, to be streaming half the content, but I just, in my head, can't understand how that would work on the grand scheme of things. It would give him an opportunity to get the catapult, but, and I'm going to say this in plain terms, I never had that help at the start. I never had that ability to have somebody give me that, and I'd be happy to give him the helping hand, but it's a bit of an unfair launch for him into the process, and I don't mean that in I would be unfair to him. It's, you've got to get the grassroots content right. You've got to get people. I just don't understand that. It's just ridiculous. I didn't do anything different. That just sucks butt. You know, I think Sam's got to follow the path that every other streamer's taken, and that's get yourself up there, go and make some videos, get some content going, go and stream, go and do it, go find an audience, go find people that are going to watch you for what you do. Don't copy what somebody else is doing, make the content unique, make it your own, put your own spin on it. Alright, if you're doing it better than somebody else, sure, do it, I mean, no issue. But, you know, you've got to go through the hard miles of getting... You've got to sit through that nobody's watching me for the first hour. You've got to sit through that I've only had 5 people watch. You know, you've got that. That's going to happen. He's not going to earn revenue until he gets 4,000 hours streaming, 4,000 hours of watching, and he's going to get it quickly if he does it via streaming. But he's got to go through the same thing every other streamer's gone to. And whilst I can help him do that, I'm sure he's competitive enough to want to do that on his own. But I haven't approached him about it. I don't think it's... He was watching earlier, but I don't think it's fair to even make that suggestion to him. That's not... The reason somebody suggested it is because I can't make a race night one day. I also can't make the last night of the season, the one that I've not planned a race for. So we said, just get Sam to host it. Because he's streaming, he'll stream it. It's like, yeah, it's a lot to ask. That was a 29, we lost 10 seconds there. People have been in the pits. If I set this as 26 laps, I have to set 27 to improve. And that's a real kick in the janglies. We're on for 16.7 here. Until we changed into that corner in 4th gear. We haven't done anywhere near a 17, have we? Since doing the 16s. Stop it, Mr. Beamer. Do not be an idiot. I think this is the pit lap, isn't it? Lap 13. This is the one we pit on. And we take 14 laps of fuel. We're 2 minutes ahead of the fastest AI at the halfway point of the race, so we're almost lapping Mr. Lopez. And I would suggest that part of that is down to the fact that they've pitted already. Maybe. My consistency is absolutely rubbish, but Sam's going to get a big boost over Christmas if he's going to be streaming over Christmas, because I'm not going to be around, and I'm 100% sure that 99% of my viewership will watch Sam while I'm away. so he should have a really good Christmas. And if things go his way, he should get all the little Christmas boxes that I don't get, so I will miss out massively at Christmas on the festive spirit, and I'll miss out on the generosity of the viewership that like to say thank you, but they say thank you in so many ways anyway, so into the pits this time. 14 laps of fuel. There we go, soft tyres. 14 laps. It's got damage. Build it straight up all the way to the top. You don't get a lighter fuel load or anything. Then Mr. Beauvoir is second now. Mr. Lopez has fell away to 8th. Cold tyres. He says cold tyres. The fronts are at 60, the rears are at, I saw him at 80 mid-corner. Yeah, the hate is real with this car. Part of my problem is I can't expect to jump in this car and be able to blow away the time in the start of the evening, can I? There's definitely a learning element with it. It is tremendously difficult to drive. The optimal is now down to 2:15.6. We've been putting in some improvements while we've been running shonky laps. Changing down from 4th gear there is extremely challenging. I'm going to have to either leave it in 3rd or change down to 3rd later in the corner, or I could just leave it in 4th and then on the straight run change down. Hey, Robert. Yeah, I see. I fully appreciate the ideas. Are great to knock about. That's why we've got to the stage where we have with having 2 splits. I already stream 2 nights a week. I suppose there is that element, isn't there? But if you want to race, how about 32-person league, 2 times 16 driver races a week? Big issue, it would require you to host instead of race one of those days. See, I don't think that's a problem, you know. It would give it a different dimension to me commentating. I'd commentate from the side of the track, but I'd still want to take up one racer place, because it would only be 31 person, because I'd take up, well, it would be 30, because I'd take up 2 places. I've got the administration side of thing, haven't I? So we'd have to drop GR3 or GR4, or I go to 4 nights. I do a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we run one league Tuesday, Thursday, and run the other the other half Wednesday, Friday. But then the people racing on day one, would they sit and watch on the second day? Would they watch the second group? Would I get more audience by having them watching, or would they go off and race another league that day? Or a different YouTuber? I don't know. There's a wild amount to think about, you know, in that respect. I shouldn't have gone around the outside of him there, that was silly, but dirty tyres. Yep, it's a great idea to think about. It's a different thing to put into my head. Because I've had such a failure rate of videos in the last month with having technical issues and things not working right. I was wondering whether I should be streaming more rather than wasting nights making videos that don't ever make the cut. So, dropouts could be an issue, yeah. We'll make a big change going to that type of thing, and we could negatively hit the viewership or the racership, the attendance. Oh my god, how did that happen? That's the second lap on a new set of tyres doing its thing again. At least we didn't wreck it. I'm just not consistent enough, but regardless, criticising our driving enough to be really bad about ourselves. But if it comes to that, we've made such a change, changing from 16 to 32, that we kind of struggle. We'd struggle to go back, I think we'd damage what we already had, because the racers that are currently racing with us now enjoy racing together. We know those people. It's a kind of comfortable group, a comfortable place. And I'm not saying I don't want to introduce more people, but you've got to consider the fact that you all of a sudden bring 16 races in that would mix in or not mix in with the current racers we've got. You suddenly split that 16 up, well, 14 up, and put them 7 with one group, 7 with another. Some of those people want to race because they're racing with me. They're racing on my channel. They like to be seen to be racing and supporting me. So you then push those 7 people away and they're racing with somebody else, or they're racing without me racing. Some people like to race against me, and they've told me purely just to try and beat me. You know, they genuinely want to beat me. That's why they're racing. And if they're in a lobby or a whatever without me in it, they're not racing against me. Practically they are, you know, because their times count against my time. But then that'll be 4 nights a week I'm streaming, which is fine, but then the content for the channel is only streaming league races, which I've seen some leagues, and I've looked into some leagues that have 3 to 4 full lobbies. They have people split amongst them. They have server managers for each of the servers. They have racers that partake. They have racers that moderate. You know, we've got a guy that likes to watch us, and he moderates out the courtesy of his own time. I've asked him to do it, but he was a willing volunteer, and he's happy to do it. And at the end of the day, I'm forever thankful for any kind of support like that. But for all my witterings and wailings, nobody that I know seems to want to volunteer to run a lobby, because it is extremely difficult to do. And I don't mean that in terms of it's not easy, it's not hard to run a lobby, it's easy to run a lobby. But then you've got to get people under control, people to do your thing, people to do it when you want to. It's incredibly difficult for me sometimes because people are distracted. They've got the missus knocking around in the room, they've got kids, they've got pets. Their attention isn't always on what everybody else is doing. Oh my god, the blooming overcorrection. No, and I'm not knocking it, Lee. It is difficult, but trying to do it all as one person is tremendously difficult. You know, and I know you say it is difficult. I'm just trying to explain that. Yes, it is, Robert. That's key. Too many people wanting to race on a single person is a good problem to have. I've already had, and I'm not mentioning names, I've already had people quite miffed that they haven't been able to race. I've turned people away when really I shouldn't have, because I was expecting full service. But people haven't landed, people have taken, you know. The last thing I want to do is have 18 people turn up because I've said, yeah, you can race, and then the next thing, they can't race. I would rather be realistic with them and say, I'm sorry, there were 16 people, get the wife involved. No, mate, that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. That would need a second rig, we could do that. And a second PlayStation Pro could come. We could get, the PS4 is here, she wouldn't allow that. No. But in terms of those lap times are shabby. No, she wouldn't do till midnight, 1 o'clock. She's at 8:30 into bed, watch Poirot, be asleep by 10 o'clock. Swear at me when I get into bed at 1 o'clock. And have a cough. And then get a drink of water and go back to sleep kind of person. And then wonder why I'm not getting out of bed when she's getting up at 6 o'clock saying, come on, time to go. And I'm like, oh god, I've got to get up and do that stuff again. But, and I suppose that's where the Sam section comes in, but I don't generally think Sam should be any YouTuber that's seriously trying to YouTube should be working on the coattails of somebody else, and I generally think he needs to do his own thing. He needs to establish his own audience. He needs to get his own foot in the way, because when it comes down to it, he's got to be able to do it on his own, and I know he's capable, so. And then there's the other side of the coin. If you well, get out of it, you donkey. Oh, no. Ruder than a rude thing. He wanted me to go around the outside of him, didn't he? To scrap this. I think the league thing has got to stay as what it is until I've really got people knocking on the door and I'm really struggling to have 16 people. I mean, I've got lots of people turning up wanting to race. I need a website that I can get people to apply on. I need a mechanism to update the website with points and prize points and league positions and standings, etc. I need, if I was going to do it properly, I've got to do it right. And you look at somebody like I'm trying to think of his name, but it's gone out of my head. Gentleman that's just set up with an app and a web page, and he's doing all sorts of good stuff. I can't remember, my brain's just not thinking, it's concentrating on racing and I'm talking and it's not happening. Anyway, there's a YouTuber that's gone on his own and he's He's doing really well. I can see the website, but I can't see the name. Can't remember. It's not coming to my brain. Either way, he's doing it. He's doing really well, but he's done it on his own. Car's just gone out of control. Car's just doing its own thing. Come on. I'm going to quit out of this. I'm not going to finish the 20. I'm going to do the 26, but I'm not going to go across the line. There's too much shit. Another 10 seconds. 2 crashes on 1 lap. So here's the thing, right? Mandatory sign-ups. And I've thought about this so much. Getting people to sign up and apply. They sign up, apply, I accept 16 races. 16 racers turn up to the first league race. I've had 24 people apply for the league. 6 people I have to turn down and say, I'm sorry, but the first 16 were accepted, you were too late. And then at week 2 I get 4 people not trapped because they didn't like their result in race 1 and they didn't like the car choice, or they've chosen the wrong car choice. They had a wreck, they had a row with somebody, didn't like it, and I'm 4 people short for the league. I'm gonna struggle to approach those 4 people and say I've got 4 places for race 3 out of a 6-week league. And it's like, it's just a no-win, no-win situation for me in my head with all these processes going on, because that's the way it is. I want to grow and I want to get bigger, but I can't see the route to growing the league situation any bigger without help. And I don't know how to get that help without capitulating and handing over my league to somebody else. It's not my league, it's our league, but I suppose I've got to be more trusting of somebody to do it properly, do it their way, do it my way. And it's a great conversation to have, but my lord, you're getting all my musings and thoughts. Yeah, and I do appreciate people who think actually he's an honest guy, he's up front, he's told us about it, you know. But there are plenty of leagues out there. You know, it's like, well, what do we do? I don't know. I don't know the answer, I guess, is what I'm saying. Lots of options. I can find negatives on every offered option. Look, that was a 41 lap. That's absolutely rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Yeah. We're coming up very quickly on 2 years of the Widdowmaker Racing Group. In, I think it was March. And the league thing only started 3 to 4 months after that, I guess. We're only on Widdowmaker Racing League 9. And I think we said we could get 6 in a year if we did it properly. Doing it the same sort of term time thing as school terms. But it's not been a bad little thing at all. We've had some seriously good races. We've had lots of races come through the door. We've had a fair few people turn up, do 1 or 2 races and then move on. They don't like it, or they do like it, but it's just not convenient. We've had people come, they've, you know, it's, we've had a few fallouts, we've had a few people, you know, do their thing. I've often thought about, you know, cutting out the ability to chat, getting rid of the intercom situation with PS chat, but it works for so many, but it doesn't work for so many as well. The 420 guys that come and race with us don't join the chat, they have their own chat, which makes communication with that chat extremely difficult. You can't update the race, you can't update the league, the racers with situations. All I have to do is come off mute and I can talk to everybody. But if people aren't in the room, they're not present, they're not there to understand it. And I guess if you think about it as a really racing environment thing, all they're going to do is follow the flag instructions anyway, so what am I going to do? Stop the race, cancel the race, restart the race, whatever. It's not... We're not going to do anything over broken eggs, are we? It's not... Nothing's that disastrous that it needs a good shout about. But... No, lots of really interesting things to talk about, lots of things to think about. And it's really quite interesting how it's going to work out, because I don't know. With hindsight, could have done things better. That's with everything. You know after the event that things could have been better, or you could have done some things differently. There are some things I would have wished I hadn't done. There are some things I wish I had done that I can't do now. But we are where we are, it is what it is. Can do, don't know. This car's horrible. Hate it with a passion. Yeah, that's kind of not where I'm aiming for, though, Robert. The discussion is about league rather than adding other types of racing for people. That's gonna come. The lobby racing thing is fine, no issue with that at all. It was more the conversation about how we get more people racing for the league rather than just doing different content nights. I've got no issue with doing extra nights for other content. It's just whether the league is worth doing 3 or 4 nights a week. I don't think growing the league is gonna be, you know, a prime process for me to be able to commit time to. At the minute I'm quite settled into the 2 nights a week league racing, a Saturday night doing something as a challenge, something to sort of show my shitness at, like this has been for the last 3 weeks we've been doing it. But at some point I've got to just commit to it and do it. Doesn't really matter that I'm going to cross the line for 26 laps and it's going to be rubbish. It's whether we cross the line and just do 25 and don't care about it, that's the thing. The lobby racing night might be interesting to pull people in, but again, we've got to have a race night, a lobby night of racers that want to fill a server. The last time I did it, we had 10 people. And we didn't have people joining to race, and we didn't have people having to drop out. We just had 10 people. I don't mind open lobby racing, we can do that. I'd kind of want to commit one night to a different game every week. And I really don't care that nobody turns up and watches it. In a sense that I could probably get 12 people to watch. Well, there's 10 people watching now. I could probably get 10 people to watch other content of other games. And I think Gran Turismo probably has a limited audience because they're off watching other people right now. And they won't watch me because I'm who I am. So this is going to be tight for 26, is it? Especially if we have another crash like it's about to happen. I just don't know why it does that. Too low into the corner maybe. Front end damage now. I can't concentrate rock solid for an hour and fight every little thing that this does and maintain a 2:17 5-lap average. But we did a 2:17.6 there randomly in a whole bunch of rubbishness. And by the way, I'm not negatising every option that's being given. I'm trying to give realistic, honest answers as to why I'm not already doing that. I was disappointed last time I ran an open lobby night that 10 people turned up when I would have thought more wanted to. And it was just the guys from the league that turned up at the time. So it is what it is. But saying that, I won't know till I try, and I won't get more people unless it's there to be done. But I enjoy making videos. I've just been thoroughly annoyed and pissed off with my equipment. I spent... Absolutely as well, yes. That's a good expression, throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I spent 300 quid on a top of the range streaming device that allows me to collect the information from a capture device is the best way to explain it. It captures the PS4 signal, PS5 signal, transmits it to my PC. Do a tropless stream night, Sammy says. Never happened. You wouldn't watch. You wouldn't watch at all. I don't have a fine physical form, Sam. I don't. It would be easy for you to whip your top off and get all the viewers. You'd have everybody, even the straight guys that come and watch. Me, nobody's interested. But I don't find GT7 is going to have a massive appeal for much longer. There's going to be another game that comes along fairly soon and we're going to have to get into it. And I think... Did someone say topless? I could talk all my viewers out of watching my channel if my brain would allow me to. Be a challenging way. That always reminds me. Oh, stupid goose of a car! What the living pants on? Just hate this blooming challenge right now. Ah. It was the term wank, wasn't it, that got it? We're on lap 26. We're way short. I don't know whether that was the car I overtook clipped my back end. I was going to say that always reminds me of Sean Locke, that expression. That's brilliant. What was your fault, Sam? If you mean the reason I span was because I laughed at what you said, the reason I span is because I'm shit. Not because anything you said, it's because I'm rubbish. And I can't control this damn box of spanners that is driving me insane. But it's fine, there's 5 minutes left of the stream. And that's the way it goes. The car reacts coming over the top of that hill in 5th gear. The back end goes light, the rear end spins up, and because you're turning slightly towards the left, the back end actually kicks out and it goes the opposite way to what you think it would. No, it's happened all night. It's happened all night. I still have a problem where I can't correct. I've got traction control on 3, I've got counter steer on, and I still can't catch a slide in 5th gear. That comes down to shitness. It's not equipment. I've got the equipment capable of it. Look, I've just done exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Now we're going to have a lap of spin or two of the car doing its own fucking thing. What the living shit bed pants fucking bag of wank shit car. Quit. Oh, well, I fucking hate it. Oh. Excuse me while I get that off my chest. And I don't get oh. And that, therefore, folks, is the end of the stream. Absolutely nothing you can do with that, and I hate it with a passion. But at some point, and I'll probably do it offline and spend hours doing it and not be able to make a video because the video won't compile. But 5 weeks time, 6 weeks time, we'll get a new computer and find out if it's the PC that's at fault because it can't handle the new kit. Because I'm probably drawing too much power out the power supply to run everything that I'm running off the PC. Oh, if Streamlabs could hear me now, yes, that would have been me kicked, wouldn't it? But I was one corner away from the finish line for 26 laps. But I was never going to drive that car across that finish line. Does the big rig ever spin like that? What's the big rig? Good evening, Big Popper. Beep, 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 beep. I don't know what the big rig is, Big Popper. Don't know. I don't know what that... I can't think about it. I'm so flipping irate. The truck game? Never. No. No, it's got proper physics. The truck game's a chill thing for me. This is stress. Driving these kind of things is massive amounts of stress. I don't know why I do it, to be honest. I don't know why I try and push. The 18-wheeler game, yeah, I get it. No, the 18-wheeler game is chill, but nobody wants to watch that. I've proved that. I think I got 6 viewers for the whole of the 3.5 hours I did it. Nobody's interested in my viewership, and just got to find something it is. But 8 people watching now. It's midnight on a Saturday night. It's supposed to be the busiest time of year. October, November is supposed to be the busiest content nights, and the way it is. The good streamers have been doing it for years, and they've built their viewership through the hard work, the sitting there with no people watching, sitting there with 10 very good loyal people watching. And as it is, I'm at that hard grind stage where it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult. Some of the hours are going to be painful. And there you go. Sam's just said it. It's the thrill of the challenge. It'll be worth it when you do it. Yes, I think I'm cheating myself at this test. Somebody else is doing the hard work of doing the setups, and the setups aren't mine. So if you think about it, Deep Forest, prior to the last time I did it, that was Sam's setup, your setup, Sam. I always did my own setup and I always drove it for me. I built it for me and I drove my setup. This time round we're pushing for even harder challenges and it's exceeded my skill level. So I'm having to turn to other people for the setup. And it's hard. And I'm not making excuses. I'm a shit driver I was a shit driver getting good results. To say out of the 7 human comedy races, 4 of them I was number 1 in the first evolution of the game. I was number 1 again in the second. In the third one, Sam's come and set better challenges. And in this one, the 4th evolution of the game, I'm mediocre. Because the skill levels got so much higher and so many more people are doing it. And part of the thrill of it for me in Evo 1, 2 and 3 of the game was showing people how to do it. And what the challenge is now is I'm finding it extremely difficult to show people how to do it because I can't. And that is where it hurts. It irks and hurts because it's bloody hard. You know, it's alright to do moderate stuff. I could have set 26 laps just then. But that 26 laps wouldn't have put me anywhere on that leaderboard. And it's come a time where that bit has... No, understand. In comparison, I'm not a shit racer. I'm shit compared to my expectation. You know, it's... Yeah, I'm only A+ because Lee let me. You know, I'm A+ because I put in 3 hard days of grind and tried to avoid the difficult races. I'm not A+ because I can race out there with A+ racers. I'm A+ because I worked out a process of how to do it and how to get to A+ without the hardship. I sat on things for 2.5 years. So... no, I also appreciate that. And it's an honest discussion, this. This isn't me kicking myself. It's an honest discussion. You know, I've had a shit afternoon. I've had a shit day. I've not enjoyed that 3 hours of racing because that is a bloody difficult car. But it will come good. We had a great race during the week. I did all right. You know, and it's not about... You know, it is, half of it's about the emotion, but it's not about me being shit. That's probably an over dramatization. I'm shit at that car. Yeah. But it's like 5% of drivers are A+. 5% of the people logged in are A+. And there's a certain criteria of drivers that will never get to A+. And that's another video I've got half built that won't work. Is how to get to A+. It's pissed me off that video won't compile. Yeah. You know, it's... I won't race the Nations Cup purely because of the anxiety level it gives me and the level of blood pressure I come out of it with. I don't know what it is about the Nations Cup and the other one. The level of driving seems to deteriorate. Oh, Big Popper, that Friday night racer was pretty awesome. That was pretty good. Yeah, we're going to do Rallycross tomorrow, aren't we? We're going to do Rallycross. What the tyre temperatures will be like on that. I need to put some effort in. Deimos come out with a quote: "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they're easy, but because they are hard." Someone once said, "Not going to the moon. I'm driving a shitbox around Alsace." But yeah, no, your point is not lost. Your point is definitely not lost. I haven't claimed that 2 million credits yet. That 2 million credits is still there waiting to be collected. Not done it. So it is what it is. Tomorrow night, let's go and have a look. Let's do it. You're not JFK, but it still applies. Yeah, in certain ways. I need a holiday. I need a break. I think that's where I'm getting. We've got 5 weeks to go. And I think there's some cars there I need to buy that I don't know. However, it doesn't matter. Why did we go in there and we didn't go into the sport mode? Not long till holiday. So we got 2 million. We finished in the top 1,000. Auto polish for the Viper. That was a good shout, that. We were in the top 400 at one point, which was really good after the first week. Enjoyed that challenge. That was really nice. This course I know, and the car was manageable. So we did okay, didn't we? That one's changed and moved, hasn't it? 328,719. Yeah, we need to find 0.8. We've got to hustle our ass for that. We will. Catalonia. 46,782. Now this is going to be extremely difficult because this lap time is so short. We'll look at this tomorrow. I'm just looking. Challenge lap time. Who's on the friends list lap time? And it's a 46,782. Holy shit balls. Top 5. Hayden, Rapid, Sam, Mickey and Average Dad. Top 5. That's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Check how many have got gold. There's 5 on the friends list. What about in the global ranking? 46,782. Yeah, I really like it. I used to like the dirt. They've messed the dirt up. Dirt is messed up big time. There you go. 539 people have got gold. So that's going to be a challenge, isn't it? That's going to be a challenge. Some people have gone rally liveries. Be awesome, actually. But there's the corner. That corner there is probably going to be one of the hardest ones to get right. And the one in front of it there. Those 2 corners are going to be the hardest 2, I reckon. But it is what it is. We will attempt to beat the ass out of that and do what we can. Right, folks, it's past the midnight. It's Saturday night. I am busting to go for the gentleman's break, so I need to. But I'm going to see you all tomorrow night. We're going to get a bit of this tomorrow night, and then we'll go from there. We'll see you on the next one. All the best, folks. Take care. And well done, Big Popper. You had a tremendous race night on Friday. We'll see you on the next take, folks. Good night. Adios.